Good morning and welcome to Dobutsukayoji, the Animal Liberation Temple. Good morning, Pastor Rob. So good to see you. I've had a little bit of problems with the camera this morning, so hopefully everything works out today. Just checking the live streams. Looks good. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Yolanda. No sound. Okay, 1 second. Okay, why do we have no sound? If somebody else can hear me, please let me know, or if you can't. Oh, okay, Neil can hear. Okay, good. So I'm not sure. Hopefully Jackie can hear too. Let me check the.
Hopefully Jackie can hear
Oh,
too.
yep. YouTube is having sound. But good morning, Neil. So good to see you. Oh no, Jackie does not have sound on her phone. I know YouTube is working. Facebook. Let me check. Okay. So I do hear sound on in Facebook. 4 centimeters of snow expected where I live. I can go to work. We have very tough. Ooh, I'm so sorry, Yolanda. It sounds like really tough weather. Um, we have a very sunny day today. We had some pretty bad rainstorms this week, but today looks good. Where? Okay, so updates here at the Animal Liberation Temple. Like I said, we had a lot of rain, really muddy up here right now. Makes it difficult to get the truck up and down the hill. I also still don't have a car because my car is broken. I ordered some of the parts. They came in. They were wrong. So now I got to sit in the back, wait for more parts to come in. Um, that's a headache. I'm definitely not close to having enough money to fix it, but I'm just going piece by piece. Um, it makes getting supplies difficult only because the truck is a fortune to drive into the city. So I have to be real careful about that. Um, our gas prices are going up, and having to rent a generator during cloudy and rainy days. But definitely don't have negative 40 degrees Celsius. I'm so sorry, Jackie. That sounds really, really difficult. Luckily, we don't have the severe cold weather here. Oh, good morning, Pauline. So good to see you. those seem to be the only updates I have. Not a lot going on because of the rain and the not being able to go places because of the car being down. Um, as far as the myself and temple updates go, but then we have our dear animal residents. And we have the ducks who are all eating breakfast this morning. So they're in their area eating breakfast. Breve, Grave, Amanda, and Renee. Lucy's still inside the house sleeping. She's a sleepy dog this morning. The goats, Rob, Matt, and Philip, are doing well. Saw them yesterday. The three tortoises are in the medical building because of the rain and cold weather. Priya and Harriet are finishing up breakfast. They're doing really well. Jimmy's doing good. He's over there. It seems like he's putting on weight, and so we cut his diet down a little bit, but still a little bit more than most roosters. Try to promote a healthy weight for Jax. Oh, there's Lucy. Hi, Lucy. Thought she was sleeping. She was out using the bathroom. Jimmy the rooster's doing really well. The guinea fowl Wendy's doing well. Our roosters in the main, you can hear them in the main aviary. Sabrina, May, Brad, Hard One, Mr. Black, Elton, and Magnus are doing well. It's starting to sprinkle, so hopefully my equipment stays okay as long as it doesn't rain too hard. Glennis, Gwen, Alice, Melissa, Melinda, Sunny, Dora, and Danielle, the hens in the main aviary, are doing really well. I can see most of them wandering around, finishing up their breakfast. The rats, Yamabushi and Hasu, are doing well. The dove friend in there is doing well. Sequoia. In the Cornwall corner, we have Poppy, Aster, Ivy, Azalea, Peony, Cynthia, Lotus, Edward, Magnolia, Hazel, Sage, Marigold, Camilla, Hydrangea, Holly, and Zinnia, all doing really well. The pigeons, FP, Champagne, Appletini, Tulin, Sasha, Yo-Yo, Petey, Ricky, Spencer, Shambles, Beluga, Beth, Pee-wee, Cascade, Augustus, Frankie, Rufus, Harper, Elliot, Snickers, Boba, Kismet, Farah, Angus, Pandora, Jones, Sin, Harriet, Lago, Fred, Tremonto, Halo, Vin, Capone, Thimble, Percy, Pacino, Lacey, and Sasha the Second, all doing really well. They seem to not be too affected by any of the weather changes here, which I'm happy to see. All of them kind of enjoying. I saw them flying from one side of the coop to the other, just kind of enjoying the flight aviary in there. It's really special to be able to see them kind of enjoying their new home. Oh, good morning, Martin. So good to see you. So those are the updates. Some of the residents here are the cows keep getting out, and I help when I can to get them back onto the property. I heard they were out again this morning, so after services, I might go and try to check on them. One of our dear horse friends passed away, Strawberry. She's a really sweet girl. So kind of just mourning for Strawberry and wanting to dedicate this service to her this morning. Very sweet girl. She was not one of my horses, but the horses, one of the horses on the property that belongs to One Living Sanctuary. So we'll get started with today's services. As always, dedicated to our dear animal friends, and today specifically we'll be thinking about Strawberry in our hearts. Lucy? Let's see what she's getting into. Lucy? do not know what she's getting into. Not a lot to get into here, so. Yeah, see the two locations of the sanctuaries, Neil, were the pretty obvious. We're on top of the hill, and you can see our structures very clearly. We're down the hill; it's harder to see the barns and the house down there because of all the tree coverage. But we'll start with the recitation of the Heart Sutra, page 4 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. Maka hanya haramita shingyo kanji dai bosatsu gyojin hanya haramita jiso kengo onkai kudo isai kuyaku shari shishiki fufu fui shiki shiki zoku de kuku zoku de shiki ju so gyo shiki yaku bunyo ze shari shi ze sho ku so fu sho fu metsu fu ku fu jo fu so fu gen ze koku ku mu shiki mu ju so gyo shiki mu gen ni bi ze shin ni mu shiki shoko mi soku ho mu gen gai nai shi mu i shiki kai mu mu myo yaku mu mu myo jin nai shi uro shi yaku mu ro shi jin mu ku shu metsu do mu chi yaku mu toku i mu shu tokko bo dai sa tae hanya haramita koshin mukege komu uhu funri se tendo muso kugyo nehan sanze shobutsu e hanya haramita kotoku wa nokudara sanyaku sanbodai koji hanya haramita zedai shinshu zedai myoshu ze mujo shu ze mutodo shu no jo isai ku shinjitsu fu koko zetsu hanya haramita shuzoku zetsu shu watsu gyate gyate hara gyate hara so gyate boji sawaka hanya shingyo negu waku wa kono kodoko motte amaneku isai ni oyoboshi warira toshuja tomina tomono butsudo strawberry o animal liberation o jozen koto o jiho sanshi foshi son bosa foshi son bosa moko sa moko hoja horo mi. We'll now recite the refuge prayer in Tibetan and then in English on page 8 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. Sangye chodan tuki chonam la chanju paduk tekni gipsu chi taki jinso gipe sonam ki jala penje sangye jupar sho. The Buddha, Dharma, and excellent assembly of the Sangha. Until I attain enlightenment in these, I take refuge. By my practice of the 6 perfections, may all sentient beings attain the state of Buddhahood. We now recite the 4 great Bodhisattva vows in Japanese and then in English, page 9 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book, Shigi Seigan. Shujo Muhen Segando Bono Mujin Segandan Homon Muryo Segangak Botado Mujo Seganjo. However numerous sentient beings, I vow to enlighten them all. However inexhaustible my delusions, I vow to extinguish them all. However immeasurable the dharmas, I vow to master them all. However endless the enlightened way, I vow to follow it fully. We now recite the 6 vows to our dear animal friends, page 10 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. However numerous my dear animal friends, I vow to liberate them all. However diverse the methods of animal liberation, I vow to support them all. However unheard their voices, I vow to speak out for them all. However painful and inexhaustible the methods of suffering, I vow to bear witness to them all. However infinite the cages and tanks, I vow to empty them all. However difficult animal liberation, I vow to achieve it completely. We now recite the 100-syllable Vajrasattva Purification Mantra, page 11 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Anupalaya Vajrasattva Te Nopatita Tredo Me Bava Sito Sho Me Bava Supo Sho Me Bava Anurato Me Bava Sava Sito Me Priyata Sava Karma Sito Me Chichim Shri Yam Guru Hom Ha 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 O Bhagavan Sava Tathagata Vajramame Mucha Vaji Bava Mahasamamya Sapaha. Good morning, D. Ray Owens. So good to see you here. I'm glad the sound's now working, Jackie. Yeah, phones can be a problem sometimes. This week I was very fortunate to be reached out to a longtime friend who had some questions about Buddhism, about generally enlightenment and questions about some pretty deep philosophical questions about like what enlightenment means and what to do after enlightenment or before enlightenment, who is enlightened, who isn't enlightened. Um, I I smile because I think these questions are very interesting, um, and I link them to the idea because often it's easy for me to, when talking to Westerners, to link this idea of enlightenment or enlightened beings to that of like higher spiritual beings, to God or gods or angels or bodhisattvas. Um, and whenever I talk about these things, I'm always reminded of Shakyamuni Buddhist teachings when asked about whether or not God existed. And he said it doesn't matter, that he doesn't confirm or deny the existence of a God, but rather it's of no consequence in the pursuit of your own enlightenment. And I think this teaching is really important. And I'm reminded of the Buddha Shakyamuni's rejection of the caste system, and that is a hierarchical system that you're born into. You're either, born into servitude, or born into royalty, or born as a priest who follows spiritual endeavors, or born as a general and follow war endeavors. And the Buddha Shakyamuni rejected the caste system. We rejected this idea. And so, thinking about these two things, I think that the Buddha would also reject the system, any system of hierarchy. And this is something I try to impress on a lot of folks when we think about our non-human animal friends, and that they're not lesser than us. And when we talk about like the five realms of existence, and supposedly below the human realm is the animal realm, and I reject that idea as well. I don't see a difference between human animals and non-human animals. I don't think there's any real distinction biologically, and definitely not spiritually. I don't see a difference in either. And so I've talked about before that I don't see a difference if God or gods exist, and if demons and ghosts and things like this exist. I don't see one being better than the other. We all have different circumstances that we have to deal with in life, and some circumstances are more fortunate than others, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the being itself, the present incarnation, the the formation of the body, whether that be ethereal and supposedly divine, or whether that just be material and what we assume is the human or animal realms. Um, that necessarily doesn't mean one is better than the other. And so, from the perspective of the Animal Liberation Temple, we reject this whole idea of hierarchy, and don't think that this is a good indication of your spiritual potential, and is definitely not an indication of whether or not you possess Buddha nature. So this leads me into this idea of whether or not a being is enlightened. How do you find enlightened masters? Is the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas a higher spiritual being than ourselves or non-human animals, or is the Buddha is the Buddha a higher spiritual master than my neighbor with the that might be promoting racist or hatred, or this type of rhetoric that is that we deem as harmful. Are they any better And my answer is no. That they all possess Buddha nature. The only difference is between the fully enlightened being, and my neighbor who might be, hateful. The only difference is the obstacles in their way. So the only thing that separates ourselves from God or gods or the divine is obstacles, things that get in our way from realizing that we're all have Buddha nature, that we're all, like was said in the comments, we're all spiritual beings. The only difference that actually I can't, may not be able to fully comprehend Dora the chicken's true Buddha nature is actually my own obstacle, that I'm unable to fully realize that. So, this brings me to my main point, is that the full realized Buddha is only obstacle is your own perception. You are the actual obstacle in their realization. And this gets really deep, and it has to do with like non-dualistic thought. And so I hope people are following. So let me try to explain plainly that all beings possess Buddha nature, and the realizing and recognizing fully enlightened spiritual masters is only, it's not that there aren't any out there, it's that we may have, that is our own obstacle. Not realizing that Dora is already a fully enlightened master is my obstacle, is my own ignorance. And so when trying to become enlightened, it is this idea of removing those filters. And sometimes it's difficult for us to realize this and see this, and I think that a good practice is to maybe visualize the person that is providing the most aggression, or seems to be causing the most destruction in our world, and visualize them as a fully enlightened being. And it's not that their actions are particularly enlightened, but their mind is. And it's our own failure to realize these things. Actions aren't always most beneficial for all sentient beings, but beings themselves are. So in this way, we're attempting to free the suffering of all sentient beings, and our only obstacle and limitation is ourselves. And so, what do we do when we think we fully enlightened? Well, help other beings relieve suffering is the short answer. Remove those obstacles that prevent them from being happy and free of suffering. So I hope people are able to follow that. That might be a little esoteric. I think that when it comes down to it, the most important thing that we can do is change our own views, and then take action. Actually go out and try to help other beings, relieve suffering, rescue a chicken. You know, I think I said that last week, right? Like, just go out and rescue a chicken. That's some of the best enlightened activities we can do. And when I say that, I don't just mean, you know, chickens. I mean rescue your neighbor. I mean rescue the earthworm. I mean, you know, get a dog friend out of the shelter. I mean, you know, be kind to the person who might be showing you the most disdain or hatred. This is what I mean by taking action. And these things are the enlightened way, and this is how we realize true masters, is by taking action to help others. Thank you, Pauline, for that comment. It's very difficult to see corrupt people as enlightened. So this is a very good example of where if we see corruption as a action and not as a person. Corruption is a obstacle that is in our way from seeing people as who they really are. And like all actions, once they're done, they disappear. They're no longer a corrupt action, right? Because it's already done. And then the next action that follows after that can be a non-corrupt action, or it can be another corrupt action. And so our idea is to see all beings as enlightened beings, to see all beings as our friends, so to help them help their next action be non-corrupt, right? So we want to try to change our view about bad people, corrupt people, evil people. These are all misnomers. These are all incorrect way of seeing the world. To me, this would be the same as saying, "Oh, this is just an animal," right? This is just an animal person. This is just a God person. This is just that's just a demonic person. These things are not the true reality. All beings are the Buddha. All beings have Buddha nature. And Dora is actually a fully enlightened being, and my neighbor is actually a fully enlightened being, and the corruption is actually just a maybe a poor action or an action that leads to more suffering. And these things are not the person, they're the action, and that we have to correct the action. Difficult concept, I hope that makes sense, Pauline, but I'd love to talk to you more about that if you have more questions, because I think this is an important concept for people to wrap their head around and start to heal the world by taking positive, good action, by taking uncorrupt action, by taking wholesome action, by taking divine action, by taking enlightened action. And so these are the most important things to do when visualizing, when conceptualizing enlightenment, when conceptualizing the Buddha. It's important to actually take positive action, to actually take action that leads to the end of suffering. So that's my talk this week. I hope that people can understand it. I find it very difficult sometimes to talk about these things almost to myself. I know I'm talking to a camera and I'm talking to all my friends out there in the internet space. Um, but sometimes I don't see it. People going, "Oh yeah, I understand," or going, "What are you talking about, guy? I don't know." There's no body language to interact with, so sometimes it's difficult for me um, to give these talks every week. But I hope it does sink in with some people. I hope people are able to understand. And please reach out to get any sort of clarification. I'm always happy. You can just text message me. You can actually call me anytime, and I'd be happy to discuss these things with you, or anything. I'm at your service, especially those of you who are at the service of our dear animal friends. I therefore am at your service as well. So, if you have anything else that you might be, you know, wanting to talk to somebody, bounce ideas off of, maybe you might be struggling mentally with, poor weather, poor political climate. Maybe you live in fearful times. Or maybe you're really happy with the political system and you want to talk about that. And I'm always happy to talk to folks about that. Again, I don't see necessarily left or right. I see um, you know good actions and poor actions, and all beings are inherently the Buddha. So we will conclude today's service with the recitation of the Animal Liberation Prayer and the dedication of merit, and then we'll take a quick tour on the main aviary side because I need to let everybody out because they're finished with their breakfast, and everybody gets separated during breakfast and to be let out. So we'll recite the Animal Liberation Prayer, found on page 12, 13, and 14 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends who are subject to unbearable pain in labs throughout the world, be free of all suffering. May alternatives to animal experimentation, vivisection, and dissection be implemented immediately. May bodhicitta, the quality of compassion that leads to enlightenment, fill the hearts of those who imprison them. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends who suffer endless days, months, years, locked in tiny cages unable to move, be filled with peace and calm. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends who are forcibly taken from their families, be reunited, and may all families be able to stay together. May the hearts of those who work in slaughterhouses, factory farms, and all industries that exploit our dear animal friends be filled with bodhicitta, so the very thought of harm is purified. May they never kill again, and may the slaughterhouse lines, factory farms, and all industries that exploit our dear animal friends become immediately empty. May no animal be afraid or depressed. May their bodies be free of injuries, disease, and illness. May the mutilation of their bodies be forever ceased. May those who need homes or have been driven from them find shelter, plentiful food, and water. May there be liberation for those tortured for fur, entertainment, or who are hunted. May those who believe that they're superior to our brother and sister animals develop perfect equanimity, and may they realize in their hearts that all sentient beings possess Buddha nature, the potential to be completely free of suffering, and that they are not ours to kill or exploit. May the billions of land and sea-dwelling sentient beings who are abused, exploited, and killed due to greed, hatred, and ignorance be free of suffering. May all nets, hooks, blades, projectiles, traps, snares, cages, pens, tanks, lethal restraints, saddles, reins, prods, bait, poison, and all instruments used to harm, exploit, and dominate our dear animal friends be forever abolished. May all human and non-human sentient beings live together in harmony, peace, equanimity, and achieve perfect enlightenment quickly. May we all experience happiness, safety, freedom, and animal liberation in this very lifetime. And we now recite the dedication of merit to our dear animal friends. Throughout our many lives and until this moment, whatever virtue we have accomplished, including this aspiration for peace, and all that we will ever attain. This we offer for the benefit of all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends. May suffering, exploitation, and unnecessary death be decreased for every being. All wisdom, bliss, and compassion increase in this and every future life. May we clearly and instantly perceive the plight of our dear animal friends with the urgency and seriousness they deserve, and our every action leads to complete liberation. May we quickly attain enlightenment and work ceaselessly for liberation of all sentient beings. Alright, we'll take our quick tour. Our rooster's talking this morning. Hi, Sabrina. Sabrina May the rooster. All right, Harriet. Here you go. There goes Harriet. You ready, Priya? It's Priya. That's Elton making all that noise. Let's go say hi to Elton. Hi, Elton. Gotta make a lot of noise. I think that was Mr. Black. Look at all the girls over here. Everybody's hanging out in the corner. There's Sunny, Daniela, Dora, and Melissa, and Melinda, and Alice. And it's hard one. And the ducks. And Jax. Hi, Jax. Looking good, buddy. I like Jax has the crazy hair all the time. Huh, Jax? You got crazy hair? All spiky. Oh, good boy. See Lucy over here. Hi, Harriet. What you doing, Priya? Priya might need some help. Put this camera down for a second. Hi, Priya. You need some help? I don't know why you're still in here. There we go. There's nothing in here, Priya. Let's look the bowl. You're washed. Let's see, let's move the camera this way. said to collect all the bowls. You can see our pond is completely full and it's overflowing. Yeah, that's what happens in our rainstorms. All right, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us here at Topotsu Kyoji, the Animal Liberation Temple, where we are at the service of the spiritual and physical liberation of our dear animal friends. Please reach out if anybody had any questions or concerns or comments or how we can make this live stream better for more folks. Please like and share this post. That really helps our algorithm get us out there in front of the right people who might be able to financially support our temple. We're always in great need. There's a lot of things that we want to improve. So we're very grateful for all the folks who are able to donate. And if you're in that kind of position, please help where you can. But really sharing and getting these messages in front of the right people is the most important thing. Even if we can just inspire folks to take on some of the work that we do, put a few chickens inside of their temple, or bring in, a few more dogs to stay at their church. All these kind of things we want to try to help promote these human animals reaching out and helping our non-human animal friends. And creating spaces, spiritual spaces for all beings. So, thank you very much. Have a wonderful week.